to today's webinar on Measure What Matters, Fixflo's answer to tracking success. My name's Jessica and I'm going to be going through the webinar with you this morning. Just to let you know that, of course, I am recording today's webinar and I will send you all a recording of this by the end of play on Thursday. So it gives us a couple of days to get everything over to you. So by the end of play on Thursday, you will have received this recording if you want to share it with any colleagues or, of course, rewatch anything at all. Okay, I'm just going to go through a quick agenda before we get started. So the first thing I'm going to be going through with you is problems faced by property managers. Then I'm going to be going through the benefits of our new Insights dashboard. I'm going to go through how you can use the Insights dashboard on a day-to-day basis. And I'm also going to be giving you an introduction to Fixflo Manager, which is our newest package on Fixflo, which has all the bells and whistles on it. Finally, at the end, there will, of course, be a Q&A. So any questions that you have at all, please get them over to me. You can see that there is a Q&A button available for you on your Zoom bar. Any Fixflo related question that you have at all, this is the final featured webinar of the year, so please get them over to me. And I'd be so happy to see you engage with me and to answer all of your questions. I have dedicated an hour to this webinar. It really does depend on how many questions come through. The Q&A section of these webinars is becoming kind of bigger and bigger. People are more getting more questions over to me. So it really is kind of taking up quite a large portion of this webinar. So depending on the Q&A section, that will depend on how long this webinar runs for. Brilliant, guys. Before we get started, I just want to share a very quick poll with you. Thank you so much for filling that out for everyone that is. And I'm really looking forward to taking you guys through our new Insights dashboard, which can show you how you can kind of measure your KPIs and also how you can also boost your productivity. So we're going to go through that now. But first of all, we're going to be going through a problem faced by many property managers. So I'm sure this is something that will really resonate with you. We've already gone through this. Any questions, please get them over to me. So one problem that is often faced by property managers is that there is no way to track KPIs and there's no way to measure success. With not knowing how your success is, it's very difficult to kind of boost productivity in your team, and having proper metrics in place can, of course, boost productivity. So there's no way of knowing. If you don't know if you're successful, there's no way then to unfortunately know whether you need to boost that productivity. And this really can have a knock-on effect on your landlords, which are of course your clients, your occupiers, and the state of the properties which you manage either. So these things can all kind of relate to each other. So I've just got an example here. If you're not tracking whether or not your occupiers are reporting issues, this can lead to a multitude of issues. So first of all, if you don't know if your occupiers are reporting issues to you directly, then you have no way of knowing if your tenants feel engaged. You also may experience nasty surprises when the tenant moves out of the property. And this can cause delays in turnaround and possibly cause void periods as well, where you're not renting the property out at all. It can have a potential risk of increased maintenance costs. And also the property could become non-compliant and fall into a state of disrepair. So if, for example, this is just one thing that you could be measuring, whether or not occupiers are reporting issues, if you're not doing that, it can have a really big knock-on effect. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's answered our poll. I'm just going to close that now. Just to give you guys an idea, around 45% of you have got clear KPIs to measure your property management processes, which is great to see. And 39% of you think that, don't have like an accurate way to measure your property management performance. So this webinar today should really help you to start tracking your KPIs and also ensure that you can boost productivity, which I think is really exciting. Brilliant. So I think this has hopefully given you a good idea, a good kind of insight as to how not tracking your metrics can have an effect on your properties and also your occupiers and of course your landlords as well. So we've got a brand new Insights dashboard, which is available to all of you. If you have logged in on today's webinar and you're a basic customer, then you will not have access to this dashboard. Of course, you can get a demonstration if you would like one on either our essential package, our professional package, or on our Fixflo manager package, which we'll be talking about a little bit later as well. So if you would like a demonstration, there will be a poll later about Fixflo manager. If you tick yes, if you're a basic customer, you can just look for a demonstration for the other packages as well. That is absolutely fine, because this material will not be available to you on the package that you're currently on. But the benefits of using this Insights dashboard for everyone that has it and everyone that's looking to have it is, first of all, it's going to show you your value for money. And you could also win new customers as well as retain tangible and unbiased performance metrics. It will help to boost your team's productivity. So on the dashboard itself, which I'll show you in a moment, there are kind of top tips on how to get those metrics even better. So if you're not quite happy with where you're sitting right now, of course, there will be top tips on how to improve those. There is absolutely no setup required. So this dashboard has been created for you. It cannot be customized. It is simply there as it is, and you don't need to do anything else with it. And it can also enhance your customer experience overall as well. So I think it's really, really exciting. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you where this dashboard sits, how you can access it, and we're going to go through it bit by bit. Brilliant, guys. So here I am, and this is on my kind of dashboard here that I have. And all of you will now, you may have already seen it because this is already live for those of you who are on the professional, essentials, or manager package. You may have noticed a little drop down sits here now on your dashboard. If I click here, this little drop down will open up, and you can see you've got your private dashboard. This is the default dashboard, or if you customized it, it will be the customizable dashboard that you've customized here. And you've also now got access to the Insights dashboard. If you've already come across this, then brilliant. So this may already look familiar to you. However, it may not have been something that you've already looked at. So if this is brand new, this is what you'll be greeted with if you do click on the little drop down here and go to your Insights dashboard. This is only accessible by those who have the user permissions to view this. So if you are an administrator user, you will by default be able to see this. If you are an agent user or you've set up other user roles, then you will need to tick within the user role permissions that somebody can access this Insights dashboard. So it can be accessible to everyone. It all depends on your user permissions. So if you do have access to it, this is what you will see. As I just said, this is not customizable. So this is just set up for you. And we're measuring kind of the key metrics that Fixflo think can help you to have more success. So like I say, this is where you can view all your to see whether or not you've got value for money, and you can also boost productivity, which I think is really exciting. So let's kind of go through these panels. So the first one here is average resolution time for issues in the last 12 weeks. So this here is showing you how long on average it is taking each issue to get fully resolved, i.e. from reported through to closed. Now mine here is showing us 3 days, and it also shows the hours here, plus hours, sorry. So it's just kind of 3.5 days, something like that, just over. With this, if I wasn't happy with this, so if I thought, my goodness, actually, I want it to be less, say this said, for example, 24 days or something like that, or it was a bit higher, I might think that actually I want to look at having a lower resolution time. I want to make the fixed rate quicker. This is, of course, something I could do. So one really good top tip here would be to use our Copilot tool. For those of you that haven't yet used Copilot, it is a way to automate works as soon as the issue is reported. So what you can do is, as soon as the issue is reported, you can actually instruct the works straight to a contractor, and you can also request quotes from contractors straight away. So the issue never actually reaches the issue status reported. This is absolutely brilliant, as it then allows the issue to get a response time automatically. So it's less than a minute then if you were to set up Copilot rules and have things automated straight away. It would, of course, increase or decrease, that fixed rate, ensuring that your average resolution time, in fact, decreases. As well as doing that, it's really important that you train Fixflo out to your contractors, so you actually get them actively using the workflows. Ask them to download the contractor app as well, then they can manage jobs on the go. So again, if you're not happy with this, there are definitely things you can do. Another really good solution is, I'm sure you guys have heard about it, we now have a contractor marketplace available to you, so you can actually use our contractors to resolve emergency repairs. That is something we have available, and they can also you can also use Copilot to send emergency issues over to them. It's brilliant for out of hours. Obviously Christmas is now fast approaching. A lot of people have been setting up the marketplace for that, so that might be something that you want to explore. And of course, having maybe SLAs in place for your agents as well. That will ensure that your average resolution time decreases if you have SLAs in place. And we're going to talk a little bit more around SLAs when we talk about Fixflo Manager, because that is actually a feature that is included on that as well. So this is really something worth tracking. You want to make sure this is as few days and hours as possible. So this is checking your average resolution time. Again, if you're not happy with it, there are definitely things you can do. Remember, you can also reach out to the support team if you're not sure about anything. To do that, just simply use this need help button just here. The next one is average response time for issues in the last 12 weeks. Now, all of you will have data here. The reason I actually don't is because mine is actually less than a minute, because I'm using my test system all the time. But this will show just like this little kind of symbol here. It will have like a bubble in it showing the number of days and also hours here for average response time. So what does response time mean? So that is either when you use the workflows to update the issue, i.e. the issue comes in reported and you send it on to, say, a contractor or a landlord. That is a resolution point, and it will also include sending a comment as well. So again, the idea is to get this as short as possible and have kind of as fewer days or hours as possible for this, so that you're ensuring that you're responding to new issues coming in as soon as possible. Again, the best way to do this is actually via Copilot, to ensure that as soon as an issue comes in, it doesn't even get to that issue status reported. It automates straight away. If you are using the same contractor for certain issues, say every single plumbing issue goes to the same contractor, well, then it does make sense to automate it straight onto that contractor each and every time. Again, like I say, Christmas is coming up. Those emergency issues need resolving. You can use Copilot there as well. And remember, any comments that go out, that will be included here on average response time as well. So this is just ensuring that you have a quicker response time, which will ultimately result in a quicker fix. So this one should have a knock-on effect to this one, and it's great to make sure that you are actually tracking those metrics. Issues raised by. So this is really important for you to see who's actually raising issues on Fixflo. Is it that you're raising all of the issues and occupiers aren't really doing it? Is it that contractors are doing it? Also, if landlords are raising issues, you'll be able to see a landlord profile here as well. And system, this really is to do with planned maintenance. That is when the system, on the instruction date of the planned maintenance service event, that is when on the instruction date, when the issue is created, that is a system created issue. So that will give you an idea to how many planned maintenance issues are being raised. So these are, of course, your open issues. So any closed issues will not sit in here. And I can see that mostly here, my occupiers are reporting issues, which is brilliant. Now, guys, obviously, we've got Fixflo Academy, and on there, we've got a really brilliant promotion course. Please make sure you check it out if you haven't already. Or if you go on Short Insights dashboard later today and you think, gosh, we're actually raising most of the issues, do please check that out. It is completely free of charge. You must make sure that you have agreed to the Fixflo Academy terms and conditions before you can sign up. It is free of charge. Why do we have T's and C's for it? Well, it's because your data will be held within Talent LMS, which is where Fixflo Academy is held. So in order to comply with GDPR, we have had to add T's and C's. To agree to them, you simply go through Setup here and Settings, and from there you will need to go to T's and C's. You will need to open up Additional Feature Fixflo Academy and agree to them here. As you can see, these terms and conditions can also be revoked at any time as well, easily here. Once they're agreed to, you can easily sign up. If you want any more information on that, we do here have on Need Help. a really brilliant kind of guide on how to sign up to Fixflo Academy. It's just this one here. So Fixflo Academy how to sign up. It does include a short 3-minute video on how to do that. And I would recommend that if you do want to start promoting Fixflo a bit more from your metrics on your insights dashboard, then please do that. One other top tip I'm going to give you is if you are still getting occupiers who are calling you to report maintenance issues over the phone, you want to really drive those occupiers into those good habits and get them using Fixflo instead. So one top tip I'm going to give you is if you are still receiving those phone calls, you can simply use this little button that sits here in the top left-hand corner of your site. It looks like a small paper aeroplane. And if I click here, you can see that this little pop-up is what I am now greeted with. With this is where you could say to the occupier, thank you so much for calling. We're actually taking all of our maintenance issues via Fixflo now. And the beauty of this pop-up, guys, is that it actually keeps you in the screen you're in. So you can see behind this pop-up, all of the screen is kind of blurred out. That is because you are held where you are. So even if you are mid-workflow or in the middle of sending a comment, you can always use this pop-up here. You simply type in their email address like this. Press send, and then you can say to them, thank you so much for calling. Can I please ask you just to check the inbox of that email address? What they can then do is check that email. This is what they will receive. It will have your logo, your color scheme, and it will say, dear sir or madam, thank you for contacting, and it will have your agency name just here with your maintenance issue. Simply click on the button below to begin reporting. When they click on this to report the issue, it will take them directly into your Fixflo site, allowing them to report the issue. And of course, it is cloud-based as well, so they can report the issue on any device. Over 50% of all issues are reported via mobile phone, so it might be something that they want to do, but that is something you can definitely use in order to ensure that your number of open issues raised by occupiers is in fact increasing. So this is a really important one to be tracking and making sure that, as I had with the example earlier, your tenants do feel engaged and that your properties don't fall into a state of disrepair and you end up with void periods. So this is a really, really important one to be tracking as well. Now, the next one down here, issues self-resolved via fault tree pop-ups in the last 12 weeks. I'm actually, because I'm on a test system, my graph doesn't look so fancy here. Any periods of graphs, by the way, that are missing that you can see in these graphs here is actually basically there's no data held at all. So you might see this on yours, but you're very much less likely to. Because I've got test systems, I do have periods sometimes of not always using absolutely everything. So that might be the case. But if I go back onto my slides, I did take a screenshot of one that actually looks much better. So this is an example of a customer one, and we can see here issues resolved via fault tree pop-ups over the last 12 weeks. Now, as you guys know, we have fantastic guidance and advice pop-ups which are available within the Fixflo system when occupiers are reporting issues, and these can help with two things. The first thing these guidance and advice pop-ups help with is they help with filtering out maintenance issues which should not be coming through to you as an agent. So examples of this could be things such as mildew in the bathroom, batteries and smoke alarms, perhaps light bulbs in light fittings. These really are occupier responsibilities, and these issues should not be coming through to you on Fixflo. So these guidance and advice pop-ups are brilliant to filter those issues out. And another great thing that these guidance and advice pop-ups can do as well is they can help with first time fixes. So a brilliant example of that would be a boiler issue, where actually these guidance and advice pop-ups can guide the occupier to say, have you tried this check? Have you checked the pressure? Is the boiler even turned on? I'm sure you've had it in the past where issues have come through where actually you've sent out a contractor, but you really didn't need to. These guidance and advice pop-ups are brilliant at this, and they can filter out up to about 20% of all issues, in fact. So you'll be able to see on your graph a green line, which should be above the blue line. The green line is a total of all of the issues that have been been reported in the last 12 weeks. And the blue line below is those that have actually been self-resolved by the fault tree pop-ups. So as I say, this can get up to about 20%. This is a really good example of how it should look. I do apologize for the state of mine. If, however, you're not happy with where the blue line is and you think, actually, it should be up higher, what you can do is you can see on this metric itself, it says here, review your pop-ups. So these pop-ups are completely customizable. You can add additional information. You can add photos, GIFs. You can embed videos as well. This is really, really great to help you strengthen these pop-ups and make sure that they're actually doing the best that they possibly can do. So again, if you're looking at your lines and thinking the blue line should be higher, please click here to review your pop-ups. This will take you straight into your setup and content edit, and it will take you directly to your fault tree pop-ups just here, where you can look through them, you can click into them, and of course, like I say, you can add additional information. Photos, videos, and also GIFs. Here you can see it's just like a Word document. Simply click in and start typing if you want to. Any changes that you make, you must of course press save, and you can preview it just here as well. If you do embed videos, you must embed videos from a video platform, so something such as YouTube or Vimeo. And one thing to point out here is that if you are going to use a video on YouTube, but it's not your video that you've uploaded, just do be aware that if somebody does remove that video from YouTube because it's then no longer hosted from the embed code that you used, then of course that video will no longer show. So that is something to be mindful of. Of course, you can upload your own videos to Vimeo and YouTube if you wanted to make them even snazzier. We have got guidance and advice on that. So again, in Need Help here, we've got brilliant articles on how you can do that. And all of this is also explained in Academy in order to improve your pop-ups. Now, guys, we have got templated pop-ups for you, which is available here within the content and the fault tree pop-ups. But please remember, you can also add pop-ups where we haven't if you want to. So again, if you're not happy where that blue line sits, as well as going through the existing pop-ups, why not add more where they're not? So an example of how you can do this is you will need to click here on Setup. From there, you'll need to click here on Fault Tree Edit. And this is where you can see like a mini version of the Occupier side here on the right-hand side. Now, what you could do is if you wanted to add pop-ups where we don't, you could click into, say, for example, here, pests and vermin. You could go to, say, rodents. And if we go to rats, here we can see that the current pop-up is actually none. But if you wanted to add a pop-up for rats and, say, mice, what you could do is you could copy over from another. So say, for example, you wanted the same pop-up for both rats and mice. What you could do is you could add a new, a general new pop-up here. Say, for example, please make sure you're emptying bins appropriately, you're, cleaning the kitchen regularly, all of those things. And then you could click onto mice and actually use the same pop-up from the drop down here once it's added. And then remember, again, you must press save. Making sure that your pop-ups and your guidance and advice pop-ups are exactly as you want them will help you to ensure that they are actually doing their job better, especially if you've got occupiers actually reporting issues first of all. Then these guidance and advice pop-ups really should start helping. And as I say, they can filter out up to 1/5 of all issues. Brilliant. The next thing that we are helping you to measure here is issues marked as completed by occupiers. What this essentially means is that your occupiers are actually providing feedback to say that that the issue has been completed. So when an issue is marked as complete by a contractor, you can have it set up in settings to automatically ask occupiers for feedback on the issue. Now, again, you can see that my graph is dropping data because if there's nothing captured at all, it will just drop off completely. Here, this is what it should look like. So this is a good example of an agency that is of course measuring this without any drop-offs. So it was 100%, which is brilliant. 100% of issues were actually being marked as complete by occupiers, and you can see it kind of fell down here and it's increasing over time, and again it has dropped down here. If you're not happy with how your graph is looking, again you can click here to review issues with negative feedback. And another really good top tip from me is what you can do is you can now send an SMS message to your occupiers to ask for feedback. Now, in order to send the SMS message out, again, you'll need to agree to the SMS T's and C's first of all. That is done just the same as the Academy T's and C's. So again, setup, settings. From here, you will need to click here on T's and C's, and you will be able to scroll to the bottom and click here on additional feature SMS. Again, these can be revoked at any time, but once these T's and C's have been agreed to, you can actually start setting up automatic text messages to go out to your occupiers during certain parts of the progression of the issue. And one of those parts is asking them for feedback if you have feedback turned on. Please note that texts do cost 4p per text, and if you do set them up within the occupier notification defaults, then they will just automatically go out. What you can do here is send when feedback is requested, as well as sending the automatic email that goes out, which is free of charge. You can also set up the SMS notification to be sent out as well. From agencies that have done that, we have heard that occupier feedback has in fact increased by around 40%. So this is really, really powerful. At the end of the day, I've got my phone with me just here. I bet you do too. And who misses a text nowadays? You're much, much more likely to actually receive feedback if you do turn that on. So if you're not happy again with those metrics and you're feeling like you actually have to call the occupier to check has the work been done, you're also trying to check in with the contractor, ignore all of that. Make sure that they're providing you with feedback, and turn on this SMS message. So first agree to the T's and C's, turn this on. Once you've changed this to send, scroll down and press save. You can, of course, keep on top of your SMS messages which are going out through a report, which sits within reports here. If you just type in SMS here, there are 2 reports available for you, allowing you to see the history and also the summary types and costs here as well. So you can keep on top of your SMS messages, but it does really make the whole system much more powerful if you turn them on. And you can also send SMS messages now via comments as well. Brilliant. So this is something you can do, and you can also review any issues with negative feedback just here. The next 2 are all about occupiers reporting issues. So as I said, this is kind of shown here in terms of who's raising issues, but down here it does show you occupiers who have reported an issue or logged in the last 12 weeks. Now, again, guys, if you're coming from basic today, this dashboard will not be available to you, and your occupiers will not be able to log into Fixflo either. But if you do upgrade to either Essential Professional or Fixflo Manager, then it means your occupiers will be able to log in to report issues, making it quicker for them to report issues because all of their data is already held. So their address details and contact information will already be pre-filled for them, making it much, much quicker. But here we can get an idea as to whether or not occupiers are reporting issues. Again, if you go through a period when nothing happens, it will just drop off here. But again, I've taken another screenshot of an example where they can see that actually this is brilliant. Occupier usage is just going up, and this is what you want to be aiming for, guys. You want to be aiming for something that looks like this, where it is just simply tracking up. If it's not, however, please do remember, again, you can promote Fixflo to your occupiers. I went through a top tip earlier here with this little button, which allows you to send the issue creation link. This is proving more and more popular, and it is really, really great at encouraging occupiers to report issues when they call you. But you can always click here on Promote Fixflo, which will take you through to our promotion page. You want to focus on occupiers here, and this is where you can see all of the options in order to really promote to your occupiers. Again, we've got the promotion short course on Fixflo Academy as well, so please do sign up to that if you want to. It's about half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. It's really not too long, so please do take a look at that if you aren't happy with how your numbers are looking. Top tips from me really on here. I would say texting your occupiers is really, really powerful. What we can do is we can provide you with free SMS credits if you want to. So the first thing you'd need to do is click here on Get Texting Now. If you've got 0 credits, simply contact us here. We will then provide you with credits and you can make sure that you're happy with your message. Do be aware of the character allowance here, but once you've changed it, you can press save. The only one thing you'll need to include here is your all-important URL. That must remain. Everything else can be amended if you want to. And then the quickest way to actually text now, we have got this option here, send message, where you put in the telephone numbers and send. Alternatively, this is relatively new, is you can click here on people, occupiers, and once you've got the credits in place, you can click here on options and send welcome SMS. That will send that SMS out to them, making them aware of Fixflo. Might be something you want to do before the Christmas holidays. But again, you must ask for credits so that you have them in place. So that is one top tip. Another one is making sure that you have proper move in and move out processes, i.e. when an occupier moves into one of your properties, you tell them about Fixflo. Make sure that you're aware of how Fixflo works, how it looks from the occupier side, and also then you can click here on people and occupiers and make sure that you are adding that occupier to Fixflo so that they receive a welcome email and they get even more information about it. On top of that, the final thing that I really would do if I were you is in setup and settings, make sure that you have a reminder email turned on, which will then send out an automatic email reminding your occupiers about Fixflo on a regular basis. So this sits within setup and settings. Notifications sits just here. And again, you've got your occupier notification defaults. It's just down here where it says a reminder email to report issues via Fixflo. You can have this turned to every 3, 6 or 12 months. I wouldn't recommend have do not send on, because why wouldn't you send it? It's free. It's an email that goes out every however often you want to your occupiers. It will only go to occupiers who have either received a welcome email and have reported an issue. So it is important to make sure that you are sending those welcome emails out to occupiers when they first sign up with you. They will then receive this reminder email if turned on every 3 months, 6 months or 12 months, whichever you kind of set up. Again, if you want to turn this on now, you must remember to press save once you've changed that notification, and you must remember that your occupiers do receive that welcome email. Something you can also check is you can click on people here and occupiers here. You can open up this little classic drop-down filter, and you can actually go here to last sent welcome email, and you can turn this to not set, e.g. null, press search, and here you can see actually 471 of my issues have never received a welcome email. If they haven't reported an issue on Fixflo, they will not be receiving those reminder emails. So the best thing to do here is to send them the welcome email here, ensuring then that all of my occupiers have received that and will be receiving those reminder emails. So that is a really, really brilliant option for you as well. And then once you've been promoting successfully, you should start to see on your insights dashboard this just track up, similar to this customer here, who's obviously been doing a fantastic job of promotion and making sure that it almost goes from nearly 0 here to from 50 really up to 500. So you want to make sure that you're getting your occupiers reporting issues, and you're seeing really good graphs here available on your insights dashboard. Finally, here we've got occupiers who have never logged in. This also actually includes the number of occupiers who have never reported an issue. I've got 626 issues. Again, email and text your occupiers to remind them about your Fixflo portal. This again will take you straight to that promotion page where you can click to promote to occupiers and have a look through other things we have available for you as well. It is worth doing. And again, if you aren't happy with how your occupiers are doing, please do sign up to that promotion course. One thing I want to show you is we do have both flyers for occupiers and a occupier user guide. These have recently been refreshed from our design team, so it is worth making sure that you've got these downloaded, you print them, or you send them in a welcome pack, something like that, so that when you are speaking to occupiers about Fixflo, you've got some material to give them as well. These can be really, really beneficial. Excellent. One question has just come in. Please do keep getting your questions over to me. The Q&A is still open, guys, and we are going to be getting to questions relatively soon. So I hope that has given you a really good indication of how you can use this free insights dashboard, which has just been given to all of you as long as you're not on the basic system. Again, if you're on Fixflo Basic and you think this all looks really brilliant, then please do, in the poll that's going to come out soon, say that you would like a demo for Fixflo Manager, and you can always talk to the sales team about our other options as well, which is Fixflo Essentials and Fixflo Professional. But I hope this has been helpful as kind of an overview of why these are important, first of all, to track, and how you can boost productivity if you're not quite happy with your numbers. I do hope that has been helpful. Brilliant. Before we get to the Q&A, and questions are coming in, which is brilliant, keep them coming, guys. Also, any feedback on that, if you think that something else should be tracked, or if there's something else you want on it, let me know. This is a really brilliant chance for you to kind of have your voice heard, and I will get all of that over to the product team as well. I just want to give you guys a very quick introduction to Fixflo Manager, which offers absolutely everything which Fixflo Professional offers. So you've got the reporting side of things, you've got Copilot, you've got the dashboard, you've got the workflows, you've also got our fantastic plan maintenance tool as well, which allows you to set up recurring service events to keep compliant with your statutory and non-statutory events. It will also include our multiple dashboards feature. You can also set up your very own custom panels. So you can actually create your very own dashboard panels using our multiple dashboards feature. You can set up SLAs and also have advanced agent permissions. So this is what Fixflo Manager offers. It is a brand new package available, and it has all of the bells and whistles. So first of all, multiple dashboards. Multiple dashboards does exactly what it kind of says on the tin. It allows you to have, as you can see on this example here, multiple dashboards, which you can actually click through. So it allows you not just to have the two dashboards, so the default dashboard and also the insights dashboard, but you can set up your own dashboards to, for example, track SLAs, trends, plan maintenance. You can also look at data hygiene here as well. So this is an example of a kind of plan maintenance compliance dashboard, which somebody in the team here has set up. You can set up your very own custom panels as well to track exactly what it is that you want to track and drive the correct behaviors. And you can see, for example, here, all issues open per agent. You can see issues requiring attention by status here for certain things. They've also got overdue EICRs they've set up, overdue gas safety certificates they've set up. They can see overdue gas safety certificates per user as well. You can literally set up any panels you really want on the dashboard. There are so many options, and this is one of the really good things about the multiple dashboard feature. I can also look here at, for example, at the hygiene dashboard. See landlords with no references. So I'm no longer restricted basically to the dashboard panels that Fixflo has preset. I can add whatever it is I want to make sure I'm happy with my data, I'm happy with my planned maintenance, I'm happy with SLAs, trends, all of those things in order to see what's going on. So this is a really good feature that is included in Fixflo Manager. Another thing that's also included is you can set up SLAs, so service level agreements. If I click here on reports, for example, there's an extra option here called service levels. And this is where, for example, I can have service levels around sending comments, around reported issues to closed, around reported to instructed, to ensure that actually my issues are all within the SLAs. And this will drive your insight dashboard even better to show you something tangible, which you can then show to your landlords to kind of keep those landlords with you, to instruct new landlords as well, and show them just how brilliant you are as a business. So SLAs are great. You can create your very own ones, and you can also set when you want the reminder date to come back around. So for example, here, if, for example, you send an issue off to a landlord, you might want, let me just find it. Here we are. If you want to send an issue off to a landlord, you can say when you want the issue to come back into the reminder date back to you. And you can set it also per priority level here. So service level agreements, these can be created specifically as well for certain priorities, for certain issues as well. These are really flexible. Finally, you can also set up restricted agent permissions as well, where agents can see certain blocks, etc. Brilliant. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to launch a quick poll. And what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go through the questions. Guys, thank you for all the questions that have come in. I would recommend sticking around for the Q&A, because there may be a question asked that actually you've kind of had on your mind, but maybe you haven't quite been able to put your finger on it, so you're not quite sure what it is you're asking, and also it can open up your mind to a few more things. Please do get answering the poll as well if you haven't already. So, Jack, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's a pleasure to have you on here as always. Your question is, will the function to SMS occupiers be available in South Africa? I will have to get back to you on that one. I'm not 100% sure on that, but let me get back to you on that one. Bear with me. I do apologise that I'm not sure on the answer. Amelia, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. How can I access the Insights dashboard? We are on Fixflo Professional. I've tried adding the panels you refer to, but the option does not appear. Our company is PBM. Okay, let me have a look at that. So what you should be able to do, it should be available to absolutely everybody now. If you click on your dashboard, there should be a little arrow here, and you should be able to choose, even if you've got multiple dashboards set up, Insight dashboards here, or Insight dashboard, and then you should be able to just find it here. If you cannot, then let me have a look into that afterwards, because I've got your agency name. I'll be able to find it for you. Also, where do we go to edit your reminder to report issues via Fixflo, please? So if you want, when you say your reminder to report issues, you've got the Insights dashboard. That's great. I'm so glad to see that, Amelia. Fantastic. Excellent. So you can now start tracking your own metrics and see how you might want to improve them. Hopefully I've given you a few good ideas today. Where do you go to edit your reminder to report issues via Fixflo? So it depends really. With the email that goes out to occupiers every 3, 6 or 12 months, if that's what you're talking about, it's all under setup and content edit just here. In the content section here itself, this is where you can change the emails that go out via Fixflo. Admittedly, not everything can be changed, but the reminder email, I'm pretty sure can be. It's just here. Email occupier reminder. If you click here, this is the email that goes out reminding them. If you've got that automatic reminder email to be sent out, this is it. You can make any amendments to it, and then you can press save as well here. So this is just reminding them what to do, and your base URL is of course your URL that you have set up, Amelia. So I hope that makes sense. Please make sure you're happy with your emails before you send them out. You can also amend the occupier welcome email. So if you are going to be having those brilliant processes in place where you do send them a welcome email when they sign up, please make sure you're happy with that email by clicking here on email welcome occupier. Now this is available for administrator users only. Another question's come in. Good day. Hello. Question regarding issues. Where are there plans to enable us to load multiple items on one issue? I'm not 100% sure on that. I would need to double check with the team for you. At the moment, I don't know if that's in the pipeline quite yet, but let me find out for you and see. So I'm guessing that's when an issue comes in, you want to be able to send multiple ones to one contractor. Is that what you mean? Please, could you let me know, and I can then find out for you. Is there a way we can create our own reports, please? So with regards to reports, you can click here. You cannot just create your very own. If there's something that you think is missing, you can always let us know, but there are a number of reports, and please, I would recommend that you kind of scroll through the reports available to you. They are kind of spread across, as you can see, 3 pages. If you're a basic customer, then you will only have 2 reports available to you. You can click into reports and actually get them to send out to yourself as often as you like, as you can see with this little paper aeroplane icon. To do that, you'll need to click here. You will then need to click on more options, where you can set this to be sent out as often as you like. So this is something you can do in order to make sure that you're actually viewing the reports, but something again which Fixflo Manager allows you to do is set up multiple dashboards and also create your very own custom panels to see exactly what it is that you want to see. But unfortunately, you cannot create your very own reports. No. Could you please go through viewing who hasn't received the welcome email again? I had an issue with my volume. Well, of course, Megan, no problem at all. So in order to see who hasn't received the welcome email, now this is your occupiers, you simply click here on people, occupiers, you click on the little drop down here, which is the classic drop down available for most of our searches. And you would simply choose last sent welcome email. Now, all you'll need to select here is not set, e.g. null, and then press search, and you will then be able to see the number. Remember, you can send out the welcome email by clicking on options and send welcome email just here. So that is really easily done. And again, you can amend that email by clicking on setup, content edit, and scrolling down within the tab you're in to email welcome occupier to make sure you're happy with the email first. I hope that makes sense. So one more time quickly, people, occupiers, open up the classic drop down filter, last sent welcome email is not set, e.g. null, and press search, and you've got the number here. You can bulk action through here as well. I hope that makes sense. Okay, Xander, thank you for your second message. So you said, as an example, when a property is inspected, currently you would have to create a new issue R for every item reported. Would it be possible to have all items on one issue? Okay, so this is when you're actually reporting an issue. So I'm guessing you're going through create issue and create on behalf of, which is our kind of recommended option. If you're reporting an issue through, say, this particular property here, the Fixflo, here for this occupier, you can click create issue. Let's do it for this one. You currently have to report one issue at a time. Unfortunately, that is the way it is. If you've got multiple, I mean, you can always go to other and press other and then put all of everything in a fault detail like this and put it as like kind of bullet points. But unfortunately, there's no way to, for example, choose, I don't know, a boiler issue, first of all, and then press add. You do have to do it one by one. The other option, like I say, is to go through other. Thank you for explaining. Sorry that I didn't quite understand it. Let me get that back to the team. That's not currently at all in the pipeline. No. Can I bulk send the welcome email and SMS to our occupiers and landlords? We recently changed our Fixflo URL, so it needs to be resent to all. Yes, Ross, it definitely does. You can also make sure that you reach out to the team. This can be done via need help. If you cannot get an answer through here, you can also contact us. Don't forget that. Please make sure you've set up a redirect. So if you've changed your URL, we can have a redirect. So if anyone goes to your old URL by accident, they are automatically redirected to your new one. Please reach out to the team to make sure that is done, Ross. But what you can do is you can bulk send the welcome email to your landlords and occupiers, and you can only do the welcome SMS to occupiers. There is none for landlords. To do so, you'll first of all need to make sure that you're happy with your emails and your text. So for the text, first of all, you would go to promote here, click here on occupiers, and you would click on get texting now, amend your text. It should have your new URL on here anyway. You can, of course, make changes. Like I said before, just be aware of the character allowance here. So you can make changes, press save, and then you can go on people, occupiers. You can click here on options and you can bulk send the welcome SMS. You must make sure you get credits first of all. So do ask us for credits so that we can do that. Let us know maybe in the email how many credits you need as well. You can also bulk send the welcome email too. If you want to amend that email, like I showed you before, it is setup, content edit, and scrolling down to the welcome occupier message so that you can make sure that the right email goes out. And then you can also amend the welcome landlord message here. And then what you can do is you can click on people, landlords, and click on options, and you can bulk send the welcome email. There is no welcome text to landlords, only the email, but I hope that makes sense. Make sure you're happy with the messages first. Jacques, if you use property inspect, can it load all issues in the report as one ticket in Fixflo? I think it would be multiple. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling it will load each one as a particular issue. They cannot at the moment be bulked into one. I'm sorry about that. I will raise these though as insights through to our product team. Can multiple actions be recorded and managed after an FRA? And can it be managed until the completion under the FRE, for example. Sarah, sorry, I'm not 100% sure I understand your question. Would you like me to reach out to you after this and maybe we can go through it? Oh, Jacques, it is loaded as one ticket. Okay, I thought it wasn't. I do apologize for that. But in terms of reporting issues through create issue, you can report one at a time, like I say, unless you choose the other option. Thank you for that, Jacques. If it is loaded as one, I didn't know that. So is that how you wanted it? Let me know. Sarah, perfect. I'll reach out to you after this. I do apologize. I'm just not quite sure I understand your question. Amelia, we mainly focus on leaseholder level. Is there a way to change the insights to this and not occupier, please? Well, then you've probably got a slightly different setup if you've got leaseholders. So for example, here, people, leaseholders, of course, you can send them a welcome email. Leaseholders do not have SMS messages though. I hope that makes sense. Again, if you wanted to change the email here, you would click on setup. You would go to content edit just here. And from that, you would scroll down and you would go welcome leaseholder. So you can amend that email. And of course, you can send that as a bulk. So you do have a different setup to the lettings one I have. Brilliant. Sarah, yes, I'll reach out to you. Amelia, I mean, the data displaying is telling me only 116 occupiers are not signed up. Okay, Amelia, maybe I'll reach out to you outside of this one, if that's okay, if your numbers aren't quite adding up, because it does seem to be quite, yeah, excellent, quite remote to you. Excellent. Sarah, what we'll do is we'll catch up on the phone with your questions, if that's okay. That's no problem at all. Excellent. Another anonymous question has come through. With the insights dashboard, the first two bubbles show the average at this moment. Can there be a graph showing the figure going back so that you can view the improvements? That's a really good question. Let me put that forward to the product team. This is also another thing which is brilliant. We want to hear your feedback on the insights dashboard. Anything that can be improved, definitely being able to see how things progress is really important. So yes, let me see if I can ask the product team for that. Thank you so much for that. So Alexander's asked if it can be loaded as one ticket. The answer is yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Dupree. Yes, basically, if you're using 1 second. Property inspect, then all the issues can be loaded as one report. Yes. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, guys. Excellent. When you do log out of this, there will be a quick survey. If you could please let me know how you got on today. It shouldn't take you more than kind of 1 minute. Any additional feedback can be added there as well. Guys, this is my final featured webinar of the year. So I'd like to wish you all a wonderful rest of the year, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me on all the webinars that you have so far this year. And I look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week and take care. Oh, you're very welcome, everyone. Please do provide feedback. It would be great. And it also goes to upper management as well. So if you would like to give any feedback, that would be absolutely appreciated. Thanks so much. Thank you, guys. It's been a real pleasure. Bye-bye.